Welcome to ATB TV. I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti. Today we're outside the office of Matt Cumani, and he's going to be joining us a little bit later on to have a chat about Serious Deal, and we're going to screw him down for a nice tip this weekend, Pete.
First up, fill up before Easter.
He was going to join us live now, but unfortunately he's still in the makeup department. He could be there for some time.
We haven't got that in our budget, the makeup department, Darren, which is quite obvious for what people see week to week.
Speak for yourself, son.
How good is it here at Ballarat on a Wednesday morning?
First day of the year they've had the sun out.
Yeah, is it? Oh, I was going to say it's not April the 1st.
Tomorrow.
That's
tomorrow,
why
April Fool's Day.
That's why we're doing this today.
That's it?
Yeah. Right, we'll wind back. We only have 4 runners to talk about that raced. We'll kick off with a promising filly that put him to the sword at Warrnambool last, I think it was Friday. Literary Magnet, Written Tycoon filly. How impressive.
Yeah, it was a good win. Matty Williams has had a good opinion of this Written Tycoon 2-year-old all the way through. I think it'll turn out to be a nice little form race. The first 3 horses were all well in the betting, and I think Peter Moody ran second, and he thought he was going there just to win.
Yep.
But our filly was too good, and things didn't go her way because she was supposed to lead, couldn't lead, and ended up sitting back in amongst them and then peeling out on the corner, and in the end winning by quite some space. So that was pretty
slipping away.
Very impressive, plenty upside. So she goes to the showdown at Caulfield in a couple of weeks, and it's a big money race. So you may recall she was a filly we offered earlier in the year. I think we did 2% shares, and we got about 20 people in.
Smart ones jumped in, Darren.
So they're having a ball. So congratulations! It looks like you got yourself a really nice horse, and you've got to stay tuned into those little offers we give you, because often there's a good horse amongst them.
Was I right here at Matty's saying with all the Vobis and all that, because of $1 million?
He did say that, but I'm not sure maths is really his strong point. So
what, 400,000?
I'm thinking maybe 500,000, something like that.
Popped a bit of GST on Matthew, I think.
Well, you know what these trainers are like, they round everything up.
So he would have calculated out 90,000 real quick, 100,000 real quick, wouldn't he? 10% off?
He'd be thinking of another wing on his house.
No.
Anyway, good win. Congratulations to the many owners.
And the good story after, I didn't realise Sarah and Tyler are in the horse.
Yep.
Been at least 10 or 12 years with Matthew, as long as I can remember, and there was an engagement present, their shares.
Was it?
Yeah.
Probably the most expensive engagement present anyone's ever been given.
Well, it's going to be one that keeps giving for them, hopefully. So, so there you go.
Well done.
Same day we had 2 fillies, Madam Mischief and Sunburnt, in the 1200 metre 58. Madam Mischief led as we expected, but she's got a bit bogged down with the weight. Ran 3rd, she ran well, and Sunburnt ran 4th just on her heels.
Yeah, it was a funny race. Obviously I don't think Madam Mischief appreciated the pressure of the Neville Wilson horse, which took her on and put it to the sword, and probably on the rail there on that real wet ground maybe wasn't the place to be on the day, but I thought she was brave enough to run 3rd, and I think she's going off to bigger and better things now. And Sunburnt, I thought she was quite good to hit the line and run 4th. I know Matty was a little bit disappointed.
Had a good blow after the race.
Maybe just not ready yet, but we'll take plenty of improvement from that. And I thought her run was okay. So she gets a chance next start to show us what she's got.
Smart move, Nifty Wilson. Former jockey realises a 2 kilo weight swing can be a big thing, putting it to use. And I think, like you said, just that little bit of pressure on.
Yeah.
And it all tailed late.
I would have liked to have swapped the positions in the run and see what happened.
Yeah, that's right. Swap, especially at Warrnambool, it can be a big disadvantage or advantage depending where you are. Saturday we went to Bendigo. We were a bit disappointed with Naval Warfare, but I think on reflection, you look at that race and you spoke about it. We were a long way back in the race and never got into the race. More so than, he'd probably been a horse at his best, been on speed.
Yeah. Look, when you go back through his form, he's a pretty talented horse, and I think he's had excuses for all 3 runs this time in. Colac was an okay run on an unsuitable track. Eden Hope was just put a line through it, total waste of time, and I thought Bendigo halfway through the race you know, he couldn't win. He was miles off him, too far back. They weren't going quick. Nothing really made ground all day. On face value, disappointing. The track ended up a 3, which was surprising. We're probably at the crossroads a bit with him, whether he's come up this prep or whether we've actually got him going the way we want him going. But we're not going to jump off the bridge yet. You know, he'll probably go to the Train Cup now. It'd be nice if we got a bit of rain and the track played even. But having him 10 or 12 off the lead and riding him pretty, I don't think that's the way to ride him. Not that I'm a trainer or a jockey, but just in my opinion, I think he's a free-flowing sort of horse. And you know, Lindsay's probably still learning about him, and you know, whether he can get the job done. He's on track for the Warrnambool Cup. Whether that's going to eventuate, I suppose the next start will tell. But sometimes these stays, you know, they can just click into gear, and suddenly you're thinking, geez, what happened first 3 runs? So we'll keep an eye on him, but you know, we'll push on. But yeah, look, on face value, disappointing, but I wouldn't be giving up just yet.
Some of his training over the next week or 10 days might have him facing a few obstacles in his eye line, which can brighten him up.
Smarten him up.
Seen that in the past. So that was it. So apart from him, the others all ran well, and obviously it was a terrific win with Literary Magnet.
Yeah, now we'll just get a tractor driving in here. Probably hasn't been in here for a week, but that's okay. Hey, it's not a tractor, it's a truck or an aeroplane or something going on.
John Deere.
Got the Harrows going out to do the track.
Right, we've got a few to get through here.
We've got a lot of horses here
coming up. We'll sort of say we're runners.
So we're going to go through these fairly quickly because there's about 12.
Well, hopefully as you're watching this, it's just before Steineman Unassailable run today. I think it's 4 o'clock at Sandown. Steineman, terrific first up win. Picked out some stakes races along the way. This is a race that she probably needs to go to and win if those forecast races are on the agenda.
Yeah, well, look, she's a filly by Frankel. She was super impressive first up. This is a stepping stone race towards her ultimate goal, which is the Oaks in Adelaide. As you say, you know, it's hard to win second up, but she's in a 3-year-old fillies race. Second up over a mile. She's $4.20 into $3.90 at the moment. It looks a good race for her. The stable said she's improved. She's done everything right, so fingers crossed that, you know, she can get the job done. But you know, they're never easy, these races. But you know, anyway, we'll go there and she'll run well, and we'll just see what unfolds. But we're going there very confident.
Yeah, out to a 64 and 59.5. It's, you know, she's got to lift to another level from the maiden win. We've also got Unassailable. We're looking at a lower level with her, and she's been good in the country. She gets her chance in the city. Drawn 3. Laura Lafferty brings her weight back to 54, and I think most of the field are 59 and 60. Any sort of placing at city level for her is sort of what we've been aiming at. Obviously a win, but this is a tough race today. But she gets her chance to be on speed and be competitive.
Well, one thing I'll say about Pat Ryan is he's not frightened to throw him in the deep end just to find out where they're at. And you know, some of the discussions I've had with him, you know, talking about the fact that you can run around in the bush in these 58s and 64s, or you can go to town this time of year after all the good autumn horses are either gone to the paddock or gone to Sydney, and you can sneak a place and you might even fluke a win. But when we walk away tonight, if she's beaten 1 length or she's beaten 4 lengths, at least we're going to know what a level is. And a beautiful track, Sandown, you get every chance to find out. So yeah, today's a bit of a look and see. She's about 25 to 1. She's overs. He's thinking she won't get beat any more than 3 lengths.
Yep. I know. Just good to see her there. And look, he's done a terrific job with her right through this prep.
Yep. And he knows her future as a broodmare. And he's trying to get that city place with her, or a city win. And he's got plans. And you know, I don't know. People probably don't follow the races that closely, but a couple of weeks ago he took a little sneaky down to Moonee Valley and ran 3rd in a Group 3 race.
Yeah.
And
big odds.
No one talked about it, but those owners, that filly went from being worth 50 grand to 200 grand just like that. So he gets it. He understands what the breeders need, and he's doing the right thing with Unassailable.
As we sit here at Matt Cumani's, we have a Matt Cumani runner of ours at Werribee first up tomorrow. Serious deal. First up over a mile, has performed well fresh in the past over a mile. Yeah, he's back. He's been a consistent horse. Probably should have won more than the couple of races he has. But you can't knock the horse for consistency. And by all reports, the horse is just as good, if not better, this time in
Well, he's been talking it up, so we're going to interview Matt a little bit later in the show, and we'll go into the Serious Deal in a little bit more detail then, but stay tuned to the end when we pull Matt Cumani in and find out the real story on the Serious Deal.
Right, now we go to Saturday. We've just, as we've been here for the last hour, our fields have come out. We'll go to Sydney first, where we've got Southern France in the Tancred. Stable bullish about how he's trained on from his, well, it was a great run first up over a mile against those good weight for age horses, Very Elegant, etc., which have franked that form. 2400, it's more in his wheelhouse. Still a tough race, but they expect him to run really well.
Yeah, well, they don't give Group 1 ones away. Look, some people are going to say, what's he doing in the Tancred? First up, he was okay, I thought. He did trial well the other day, and I noticed after that trial his odds in the Tancred went from about 26 to 1 to 13 to 1. He's drawn nice in 9.
So it goes up.
So Dragonette's drawn 1, so look, he's going to be back in the field, and he's going to be running on late down the straight. But you know, we've got Melody Bell to Dragonet. There's some very good horses, Toffee Tongue in that race. So you know, they are bullish about him. They said his work's been good. They said they can't get him any better than what he's going. So we go there. The track won't be hard. It won't be a bog. It'll be just nice, and we'll get to see if they got Southern France back to his peak. They feel they have.
Yep.
They feel they can't get him going any better, and he could be a nice little each way bet. But really looking forward to seeing what he can do. If he runs well, he'll push on to the Sydney Cup. So you know, there's a lot at stake this weekend. But the owners, a lot of them are going, and good on them. And they going to get to see this horse. He's had a lot of work done over the last 12 months. He's been gelded. He's had a couple of little minor surgeries to clean up a few things that were holding him back, and the stable really do feel they've got him back on track. And he's a very, very good horse when he's right. So yeah, they're bullish.
Fingers crossed.
Hope they know what they're talking about.
We are certainly not going to get the, well, they had about 400 inches of rain up there in the past month, but we'll be back on a good racing surface.
Yep, perfect.
I'll now go to Warrantable, where Intense might have his second up run over 1800. Pat's also said there's a high weight at Hamilton 4 days later, so he'll accept at Warrantable, check that field out, thinks there's something there he probably can't beat or it's too strong, he'll go to Hamilton. He's just a horse we're waiting to get out over a trip.
Yeah, I think we've got to wait till his fourth up. This is his second up run. He missed a bit of work with a Witherboil. He got balloted out after that, so look, he's probably a run behind where he needs to be, but he's got a program. I think he's got him lined up to go around at Warrnambool over the carnival, and I'd be holding me money in the bank till then. Keep
the powder dry. Caulfield, we have 2 runners. We've got Never Again in the Group 3. I think it's called the Victoria Handicap. He's been going for a spell, not going for a spell. He's run. Anyway, Clint McDonald's what do you call him, post-race yesterday, or pre-race yesterday, I couldn't have him in better condition. His gallops are good. He's eaten the house down. And so we go to a 1400 metre race on a good track, which is probably in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, well, he's got good form at Caulfield, hasn't he?
Yep.
So, I don't know. I thought he was in the paddock, but here he is running. So one day he's going the paddock, one day he's not.
We had him in the Arima there the week before.
I'm not really sure, but anyway, look, I suppose at the end of the day, we just want to see him run a good race. He's got Craig Newett up, so you'll get a nice strong rider, and he has got good form at that track, so I suppose he's just going to jump out and see if he can get over the top of him. So I think a lot depends on the tempo of the race and the racing pattern on the day, whether they can get home. So
30 degrees, we're going to have a nice firm track.
At his best, this horse, he's a good horse.
Yep.
So if he can produce his best on Saturday, yeah, he's an each way chance.
And a good odds too. Yep. Our good filly Capriccio runs around in the, I think it's called the Super Vobis something or other, worth a bit of money again. 1100 metres, 3-year-old fillies. You said she's drawn a little wide. Daniel Moore's on, but she's terrific at Flemington. She wouldn't have to do much more than that to be right in the race, given luck.
Yeah, well, this is a different kettle of fish, isn't it? I'm not sure why Damien Lane's on another horse, whether he chose that horse or whether the stable chose D Moore. I'm not sure there, but we have drawn wide, but if the emergencies don't run, we will come into 10.
Yeah.
Caulfield, big field, massive field. Yeah, Jesus, you know, if with her pattern getting back and running on, she's going to need a totally uninterrupted run. If she gets a totally uninterrupted run, she'll be too good for him.
Yeah.
But
that old Caulfield Swoopers track and suit.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
But we're early in the day, the race.
Some days it can be leaderish.
Yeah.
Some days, you know, you can get blocked up and held up, and it can look really ugly. So, yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to ride her or how that's going to play out. But when I saw the big field, I felt a bit nervous, I must admit, because, geez, at Caulfield, you can get caught up amongst the traffic there and look ugly. So, look, let's hope for all the owners that she does get clear running and she does produce her best. But Daniel said he's got her as pretty much as good as he can have her.
Yep.
And she's on track for bigger things in Adelaide, so she'd want to be competitive here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sunday, Easter Sunday, of course, we're through the whole Easter weekend. We've got potentially 3 runners. I'll go over the border to Penola, where the borders aren't shut there. They might be in Queensland, or us going to Queensland, or whichever way. It's with them coming to us. The borders are shut here for Queensland to come to us.
At the moment, I don't really know if I'm going to cross any borders, Pete.
No.
So
anyway,
I'll just stick here.
64th Street is, go to Penola. Pat's pre-race to us was, I can't get her any better than what she is. She is what she is, hence why we're going to Penola. I'll say he's confident, but for that grade, he reckons she can run a race over there first up.
So she's first up for us.
Yep.
So she's a full sister to a Group 1 horse called Elite Street that won the railway, and then it came over here in the autumn and didn't really fire, had a couple of issues. Danny Morton trained it. I did talk to him about that. He said the horse was never at its best. So she's a full sister. She's been bought for a breeding project. So she's a maiden. She was running around in WA, and we bought her across to Pat to see if we can win a maiden.
Yep.
And Pat knows she's going to the breeding barn, so he wants to tick off that maiden as quick as he can. And then if she's got any ability above that, then yeah, she could be one that could sneak around some of the P1s or even get into a nice city race somewhere. But step one, we don't know much about her. We've got to see what she does on race day. So Penola's the best chance to try and tick that maiden off. So she'll go over there on Sunday, and I'm not sure who's riding her, but
Fields aren't out as of when we started this.
Yeah, she's going to have every chance there, but it's a bit of a look and see job. But you know, with her breeding, we need to win a race, and then her offspring will be worth good money. So that's the whole program.
I watched a couple of her videos in Perth or in WA. She has raced on speed. She has raced back. So you know,
she was showering up over there all the time. So that's why we bought her here. So she doesn't want it rock hard. She doesn't want it real wet. She just wants it somewhere in between.
Penola, you know, you probably need to be more front of the field than back. But anyway, that'll all sort itself out once
we'll kick her off
see
and see
the
what
field.
happens.
Yep. Same day, back this side of the border, Stall Cup weekend, and the Stall Gift and everything else. Might tootle down the road, 2 of Prushka's fillies. Razor Colours, who was good at Moonee Valley, going to a benchmark 64 mile, more so, Paul's, hopefully she can win, but it fits into maybe the long term over the border to the classic 3-year-old races in Adelaide. So we'll just see when the fields come out. They're not out yet, probably tomorrow. And we've also got Dandage Classic trying to tick off a maiden win over a mile as well. Paul did say he'll put Tatum Bull on. We'll just take a couple of kilos off, but she's such a simple horse to ride. She rides those provincial tracks well. So hopefully we get the job done with her. So I don't know which one you want to kick off with first.
Let's talk about Dandy Classic. My gut feel is Paul hasn't been happy with the ride on her at her first and only 2 starts.
Yep.
Based on discussions I've had with him, he just felt that she's a new filly. She needs to be ridden a certain way, and as she's learning, and the reason that Tatum Bull's going on is because she rides her in her work and understands her, and Paul feels that she'll ride her exactly the way he wants her to be ridden, and that she can tick that maiden off, and then she's got bigger things ahead of her. So she's a talented filly. She's green. She's still learning, and these stayers, they're not like sprinters. They take a few runs for the penny to drop, but look, I think we'll see a vastly different situation. Mind you, she's had 2 starts and run 3rd and 4th, and been held up and been a bit green. So if she's made natural improvement and Tatum understands how to ride her, I think it's a tricky track store. You've got to be up there, but everyone knows that. So there's always a mad charge to get forward. So look, if she can have a bit of luck there, she can win that. The other filly, well, she's a very good filly, and she's on Razor Colours. She's on track to go to Adelaide for some nice races there. So, look, She's taken on the older horses. It's always hard to take on those older seasoned horses, but like Paul said, this is a perfect race for a filly like that. She needs the race. She's already a winner. You know, she can knock that race off, but if she runs top 4, he's not going to be too concerned, because it's just about getting another run into her and getting her more seasoned. She's a filly that still can do a little bit wrong. Just got a tendency to hang, but he's feeling that we go there and get that nice run into her, give her a good day out, and then she'll be ready to attack in South Australia.
Like you said, we're a Group 3 place, 3-year-old filly coming back to stall. You know, there want to be a decent couple of horses in there to beat her if she races to what level she's shown us.
Yeah, well, when she run in that Group 3, 6.
6 beat 3.2 or something, you know.
So she's probably going to start favourite.
Yeah.
But once again, I don't know where she's going to be in the run, but
barriers, all that at stall are important.
It's going to be tricky.
At least you know with both those fillies, they actually can take them forward.
Yeah, so she can, she'll run super. She's a good filly, and she's only going to get better with age.
We're Monday, we're a long way off, 5 days, with Madam Mischief, Pat's keen to go to a fillies 1300 metre or 1400 metre race down there. One's an open 3-year-old, and the other one's a fillies and mares.
This is
14 Sandown next Monday. He's not worried about the 8-day backup. He reckons for a horse like her, and back on top of the ground, and gives her chance in the city, fully fit, at her best. You know, no excuses. So we're going to wait for those fields to come out Easter Monday. Collectible might kick her prep off that day as well. It was a benchmark 70-1400.
Well, if we talk about Madam Mischief, we said earlier that her run was full of merit there at Warrnambool. She goes to Sandown. Beautiful track.
Oh, absolutely.
Gets a chance to, get at that city placing.
Yep.
And this time of year, those fields are only a length or two better than the country fields.
And that Monday field again, on the back of a heap of races prior, the horses will be scratched, they'll be double nominated.
Yeah. So she gets a chance there. If you saw the vision of her yesterday in the paddock with her mate Snowy, or Anna Sullivan might have been, pretty relaxed, pretty chilled out, looks super.
Great environment for her.
Done a great job with her, Pat. And once again, we go to Sandown just trying to pinch that city win or city placing, and good on him for having a crack, and we'll find out just what level we're at, because he's also thinking she might be a sneaky chance to cross the border later on in Adelaide. We'll have to hire a motorhome, Pete, and go for a couple of weeks by the sound of it. We'll have half the team over there.
Well, at least he's looking far and broad. I mean, obviously, and I heard Michael Kent say the same thing. This time of year, trying to find the right 3-year-old fillies or colts, it's hard off the top-notch races.
Yep.
So you've got to sort of spread your wings a little.
And you've got to take your chances while they're there, because those races won't be there all the time. No. So if there's a race there, and one day there's going to be 6 runners, and it's all going to click, and you're going to run into a place, and that's the game.
Perfect example when Pat went where Raise the Colours went. There was 8 in that race. He got Group 3, and he's increased the value of that filly by
a couple $100,000, just like that.
And collectible first up.
Well, I think she'd need the run. I don't think she's ever done anything first up. But
she's ran well at Sandown in the past. But
I think she's going okay. She's coming off a different sort of prep this time. She's coming off a beach prep for the first time. Now she's entered for the May broodmare sale, so she'll be sold in May. So what do we got there? We've got April and May, so she's probably going to get 4 runs in. She's a filly that really hasn't found a form until 3rd up in the past. So I'll be really interested to see. But we get those 4 runs into her, and then she'll be off to the Gold Coast mare sale, and she'll be moved on.
Perfect timing in terms of the class of that type of race this time of year, lead into winter. So that's it. Rhoda has been nominated for Kerrang 1400, Mornington 1500, Saturday, Sunday. I think he was keen to back up on the after it ran last week.
Yeah, well,
Logan McGill, that is.
Yeah, he was disappointed with the race. Was it a Chuka? Wodonga. Yeah. Disappointed with that horse. I think he's on his last chance. He just doesn't seem to want to do it. He seems to have the ability, but he just doesn't seem to want to do it. So.
I remember back to that Swan Hill.
Yeah, I know, when he just charged.
Swan down the outside, but...
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to that horse, but anyway, if Logan can't get him to win a race, I don't think anyone will.
No, so that's it.
They're the runners.
So
a big team there going around. Pete, we're going to learn a lot about these fillies over the next over Easter, aren't we? And we're going to learn a little bit about our better horses too, because we've got some, we've got a few horses there geared up to go towards Adelaide. We've got a couple geared up to go towards the Warrnambool Cup, Naval Warfare, South Pacific, Southern France. He's running this weekend. He's geared up to go to the Sydney Cup, and we've got a lot of these 3-year-old fillies just geared up trying to win a city race or a city place for their broodmare value. So there's a lot at stake over this weekend.
They're all running to the springboard, Darren. It's whether they get over or they.
Well, they won't all succeed, but I think the most important thing is they're all there to do their best, and they're all there to see where they fit.
Yep.
The other thing I haven't looked at the acceptances, but I did notice in Caulfield, in the reduced choice stakes, a listed race. First up, there's a filly in there called Delicious Tycoon that we bred out of our good mare Rockalicious. So a written Tycoon Rockalicious called Delicious Tycoon for Matt Laurie was nominated. I'm not sure if he's accepting, but for a horse to be first start nominated in a stakes race, I'd suggest it might be able to gallop a bit.
Yeah, and just on that, the filly that Michelle Payne's got was scratched out of. I think it was Colt, out of Literary Magnets.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it's going.
I think she'll dodge a wet track, so you would think.
She may have to trial it now. So
but
missed a few runs.
Another one that was bred, Manic Tree Park or Esker Lodge. So.
Yeah, the program's going pretty well that way. So anyway, we'll find out more today after Stoneham goes around.
Yep. So that's us.
That's us.
So we'll get the expert
we'll go and
advice.
We'll go and drag him out of makeup. So stay tuned. Ready? I'm joined here by Master Trainer, global sensation, Matt Cumani. One day's in Sydney with runners. That was a great run, Quaypay.
It was a bit. He ran a bit fresh, a bit keen, because we had the 5 weeks between runs, which, in hindsight, would have been, if we'd known that, it would have been great to give him a jump out or trial or something up there. It might just have settled him. But going out onto the track, he was bucking, and I just ran a bit with the choke out, and they did a bit too much out in front. But I think it'll prepare him perfectly for the Derby on Saturday week.
Saturday week, the Derby. I don't know what the fixed odds are, but you might want to have a crack now. He'd be right into it.
I think so. I think it was good, and so long as he can settle in it, it seems to be a bit of a pattern with him. He's sort of gone, always run a bit keen and fresh first up, and then as he goes deep into the campaign, relaxes and always looks like he wants further. So whether it comes a bit too soon and he needs to be more sort of 4th or 5th up, I don't know, but we'll see, and we'll certainly give him a fair bit of work between now and then.
Very good horse. Now, speaking of very good horses, Serious Deal. Might not be at the same level, but he's going first up at Werribee on tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Thursday, yeah.
What are we expecting?
Well, look, I think he may be no champ, but he's a great horse really, because he ran for a long time last year. In 10 starts, was out of the placings only twice, I think. So he's pretty consistent, tough horse, tough galloper. He's got that little sort of niche of where he likes to run. It's 17 or 1800 metres, seems to suit him best. I had a bit of a choice as to whether we run him 1400 first up, which we did last prep, but he's the sort of horse that's sort of will always find 1400 a bit too short for him, and we'll always find a horse that can out sprint him. So I'm sort of gone for the 1600. It looked a little bit weaker on paper as well. We've got Laura Lafferty on board, who claims, and I think she's quite good at holding a strong horse as well, which he can be. He can really not fight, but he's just he's quite heavy on the bit and just gets rolling. But if she can get him into a really nice tempo and go along without sort of getting stuck in a pocket or anything like that, I think he could go quite well first up.
Well, we'll look forward to welcoming him back, and as we know, he's a horse that can have a few runs, and once he gets out of the 1700-1800, that's his go, isn't it?
I think so, and you guys have done a great job with him while he was out spelling, because he's come back in terrific order. Moving very well, seems really on it and alert and keen and sort of happy and excited to run, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes tomorrow.
Now they tell me you got 4 runners today. By the time we post this up, you'll have given us the winner. We would have all backed it, left you all out. So you're on trial. Who's the winner? Who is the winner?
What a way to make a trainer look stupid.
We're good at it.
They're 4 really nice horses actually. I think we'll start off with who's got the least chance, probably Converging. She's first up, 1800. I think she'll run a good race, but she probably wants 2024, so we'll probably leave her. Noble Heights is the really exciting horse. I didn't expect him to win so convincingly last start, but over a mile, which is a bit short for him, he really bolted up and won by 3 or 4 lengths. So he's probably the one that if he does win, everyone will wonder why we weren't tipping him heavily. They wondered that last start, but he's also a little bit inconsistent, so because he's a bit immature, still a bit weak. I think Science Hill Delivers probably the best bet, just because he's come back really well this prep. Over shorter distances in his first 2 starts of the prep, he's been able to come second and first and run really well. I think up to 24 he should go well, and he's sort of the consistent safe bet. Zoosonic's a lovely filly, second run for us. You know, we're just sort of still learning about her. Drawn a bit low, might get stuck in a pocket, but if she does get out and have a clean run, she could be a winner as well.
Well, we'll see how accurate Mr. Cumani is. Now, Morgani's just ducked off over under the tree in the shade. He's got his TAB account open and there's $100 bills flying everywhere. While he's doing that, Mac, questions without notice. Most promising horse in your stable at the moment? Who are you excited about?
Well, I'm still very excited about Quay. I think he's still got a long way to go. I think he's going to improve into next year. I think Noble Heights, if he runs well today, I think he could be really exciting, because he really wowed me and everyone who was watching. I think in that mile race last start at Sandown, and he'd gone to a South Australian Derby. We've got some really nice 2-year-olds. I mean, I think honestly Arizona Dreaming, who's had to unfortunately go out with a break, but he was showing a lot of promise, and he's a really